Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's video, I'd like to talk about the Lapu-Lapu Corto knife. This knife was designed by a professor of the Filipino martial arts, Professor Brem Frank. He's someone that I consider as a teacher's teacher in the martial arts. He's also someone that I consider as one of the founding forefathers of the modern tactical knives that we see today. Because of his lifelong Filipino martial arts background, this knife was designed to accommodate Filipino martial arts concepts and techniques. It really has the Filipino martial arts like in its DNA, so to speak. So what that means is by learning how to use this knife, you are learning Filipino martial arts at the same time. Okay, so a lot of knives out there may have like a couple of gimmicks. They have some neat features and stuff like that, but we're talking about some random techniques on the knife that the knife can do. With this, once again, this is based off of Filipino martial arts. That is a system. And one of the things that you learn in the martial arts is that someone who has a couple of techniques in their arsenal, that's like having like a small bag of tricks versus someone who practices a system, a whole system. They're definitely going to have the advantage over someone who just has a couple of random techniques together. Okay, so right here, you're going to notice the reinforced pommel right there. There is a chunk of steel put in there, and for obvious reasons, you could strike with it, right? In the Filipino martial arts, this is exact same idea here. We strike with this side, of course, the top side, but we also use the butt end quite a bit as well. And if you notice, a lot of people hold it this way where there's a little bit sticking out, because not only does it make striking with it easier, but we could also hook limbs like so. All right, so using that exact same idea here, we're going to apply this to the knife where you could strike this way. And then this is also designed specifically, this area right here and this area right here can be used for hooking limbs. Like so, the handle is specifically designed that way. You hook and you could move a limb out of the way, or you could actually press up and now you can pin their limb and go into some techniques as well. So the whole idea here is the design of the handle is specifically made to do the same techniques that you see that we practice with the sticks. All right, so you notice a divot right here on the clip, and then there is a circular design on the handle right there, and then there's two corresponding circles right here, 1 and 2 on the handle as well. It's for a technique called the indexing, and that's used for switching grips. So right now I have it in like a standard type grip, and then I'm just going to put my fingers right there on that circle so that I could do this. I could swing the knife up and down with ease to help me switch to the reverse grip, and then I could also go back to the standard grip, and once again switch, switch. So it just makes that switching process, grip switching, easier. Now, some people may think, well, that's a gimmick. You're not going to use that in a real life situation. But in the Filipino martial arts, this is quite important. While a lot of people like to argue which grip is superior, a lot of people say the reverse grip, this is the superior grip in combat. I think the Filipino martial arts people, in their experiences historically and whatnot, they figured out that the good knife fighters use both, period. Okay, so if you are capable and you have the ability to switch grip, why not switch grip? So if you are confident in a situation, why limit yourself to only one grip? If you feel like, hey, this is going to work out better in this certain circumstance going on, switch, why not? And the main idea there, without getting too complicated, is that when you have some distance, you're going to be using this kind of grip, standard, more standard style of grip. When you get closer, you're going to switch to a reverse grip. It's as simple as that. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is, once again, the way that the handle is shaped is designed so that your last 3 fingers fit perfectly right there on the handle with your middle finger right around here where the notch is sticking out at this area right here. So that gives you some leverage and you focus on those three fingers. So as you're practicing and using this knife, it is encouraging you the proper grip on how to hold weapons like this. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is if you look at just the shape of the handle, the way it's designed, is that it encourages you to use your last three fingers and it fits perfectly. The form of the handle makes you really focus on those three. And like for firearms, this works out because you have your pointer finger ready to pull the trigger. For Filipino martial arts stick fighting, this is one of the proper grips that you want to be having. Being able to focus on the last three fingers allows you to loosen up on the top two, which are there for support, but it helps you put in the necessary snapping type motions, whether you're using blade or whether you are using stick. So from the Filipino martial arts point of view, this is the proper grip. And by practicing and holding this knife, it encourages you the proper Filipino martial arts grip.